It's time for everybody's favorite show, What Was I Thinking? Today we are going to look at various orchids that I have, and I'm going to tell you what I was thinking when I potted them that way, when I positioned them that way in the sun. This is gonna be a blast. Let's get right into it. All right, let's start with this guy right here. What was I thinking? Let's start with the pot itself. This is a glazed ceramic pot. Now, why would I use this? Well, this is a hard cane Dendrobium. Pretty hard to overwater these. I mean, any orchid you could drown, but it's okay if it stays pretty moist. So I'm not worried about a ton of aeration. I'm not worried about, a basket that has all kinds of holes in it. I'm not worried about a regular ceramic pot that would let more moisture out over time. Also, if you look in here, lots and lots of slow release fertilizer. I dump a good bit into these things, about double what the label says. I've never had any problems. I think the labels are way over conservative. Also, what you can see is the medium is this black stuff, which is called tree fern fiber, or New Zealand tree fern fiber. I find that it is, for the right orchid, it is the best substrate. It's better than moss or bark, or there's nothing better. There's all kinds of attributes to it that are amazing. I've done videos on it before, but it gives it some nice aeration. It stays just wet enough. When it's dry, it turns brown. Everything I put in here really thrives. So this guy, Dendrobiums, hard cane Dendrobiums, are okay with, being wet. Like I said, it doesn't have to be mounted where it dries out every day. And that's it. It gets a good bit of sun. Happy, happy. What was I thinking? This guy's pretty cool. It has bloomed already twice this year. It's some sort of Cattleya. I should have, it's Brasso Cattleya Little Mermaid. So, what is going on here? What was I thinking? You're gonna see that it hangs like this on this raft. I don't know if you can see. It's a raft, right? It has like holes in it. Not holes, but slats. And the roots have totally overtaken the slats. This is a perfect example of how I handle all of my Cattleya, or how I handle anything like a Cattleya. I do this because Cattleya want the roots to dry right away. So gets washed, gets dried. Easy, easy. It makes a huge difference. I mean, that in and of itself makes such an enormous difference, I find, versus sticking them in some sort of pot. I am in Southwest Florida. This only works in certain areas. But again, if you're in a hot, tropical, humid, sunny area, it works pretty well. And really, I can water this probably every other day, which is good. What else was I thinking? What was I thinking? I've already shown this guy off a couple times. It's a Cattleya. But look, it's inside a pot, which is inside a pot. Plastic pot in plastic pot. This is a bad idea, right? Because it's very easy for a Cattleya to rot in a situation like this. It's easy for everything to get wet in here. The plastic pot makes it very difficult for it to dry out quickly. And if it rains too much, all the roots are gonna rot out. And then you have a very unhappy orchid. I ran into this one year. I didn't understand this concept. I had all these orchids out and it was rainy and I was watering them because I didn't know what I was doing. And at the end of the year, I mean, really, like I was like repotting them. I'm like, every single root is mushy and dead. It was not a good day. And then I had this realization, holy moly, I just really screwed up. So you might be asking yourself, well, Dave, if that's the case, why would you be doing this again? Well, here's the answer. This is what's called a bifoliate orchid. So bifoliate, how do you see this? Is there's two leaves at the end of every stem. 1, 2. 1, 2. Whatever, you get the idea. So it goes up, and there's 1 and 2 at the end of each stem. It's different than a unifolia Cattleya, which only has 1 leaf when it's coming up. And you may be saying, well, who cares? I care. Because these things are extremely, extremely tricky to repot. They get mad and finicky very, very quickly. And there's like a week in the spring where it's safe to repot these things. When the roots start to come out of the new growth and they're like 1/2 inch long, yes, you have to repot them then. Because then they kind of, that little 1/2 inch root will like attach to the stuff around it, and then it'll be happy. If the root is 2 inches long, it's too late and it won't attach to anything, and this will die, or at least it'll pout for years. So if I were to repot this thing right now, it would either kill it or make it so mad that I would not see happy flowers again for years. That's what's happening. That's why. Why am I doing that? That is why. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? This is actually, this is an orchid, and if you have any sort of orange hybrid orchid, this is in it. Like it's a Granthi. I'm not even gonna try. It's an orange flower that really is, this is a species and it's used a lot for hybrids. Okay, with that being said, they grow very well in my climate, my particular climate. So we have a plastic basket. Why do we do that? Lots of airflow. It's being hung up in the air, lots of airflow because of the plastic. Plastic does not break down. As this thing grows over the years, it's gonna become gigantic. We don't have to worry about this breaking down and having to somehow repot it, which is very difficult, obviously, if the plant is huge and the basket or whatever is completely decayed. Inside of it is lava rock and river rock. So there's nothing organic, right? It's just rocks, And you can see these roots have just grown throughout this thing, which is exactly what you want. You want lots of air. If I water this, it's gonna be dry in a day or two at most, because it's just, there's nothing holding water in this at all. So hang it, basket that'll last forever, in organic media, and you're gonna have a long-term happy, okay, let's see, this is, oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 8 new growths. 8, very exciting. What was I thinking? Once this blooms, I'll do another video on it. This is a Catasetum. I have a ton of Catasetums growing right now. This will not be a Catasetum video. That's a whole thing in and of itself. I'm really into these things. Very cool, very unique flowers. Now, why did I do it? So this is, again, tree fern fiber, which I love. Stays wet, but still has good airflow. You see these little holes? Wait, you see these little holes at the bottom? So it's like a reservoir of water. If any of you are familiar with like an earth box, same concept. There's like a reservoir of water that stays at the bottom because these orchids want so much water during the growing season that it needs to have that extra reservoir at the bottom. It doesn't have to, but it keeps it super happy. So the plastic makes sure that it doesn't evaporate too fast. The tree fern fiber keeps it wet enough. Tons and tons of fertilizer. I mean, like a handful of slow release fertilizer. And reservoir at the bottom. This is going to be a very happy Catasetum. We'll see what that, I have no idea what it's gonna look like. This is a Catasetum J plus R Glav. All right, I'll let you know when this blooms and we'll take a look at it. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking much because I think Vandas are very simple. I just wanted to show this one because it's so pretty. So pretty. It just bloomed. I'm happy. You can see some of the roots are real happy. You see that green tip? The longer the green tip, the faster it's growing. So sometimes you'll see green tips that are like that long. and that means it's really supercharged growing. So it's just hanging like a little basket here. That's what it grew in, and when it was a baby. And just the roots are hanging down. Do not remove the basket. You're gonna kill the flower. These are very simple. You hang them up. Really, you should not be putting them in you shouldn't be putting them in anything, even rocks, or some people get away with it. But I think this is the way to go, just hang them. That's what I was thinking. What was I thinking? So here's a Brassivola. It's pretty healthy. My last video, people yelled at me in the comments because they said you did not talk about how great it smells at night. And they're right. I just don't go outside at night that much, but they do. They smell great at night because they are pollinated by moths, and a moth will come out at night, so it doesn't really matter what color it is, right? Okay, so what am I doing here? This is in a clay pot, but it's like, I think I dropped it. And you see how it's all messed up. There's a hanger on it. So the question is, why am I not doing anything? Why am I just letting this poor thing suffer? It's not suffering. All the roots have attached themselves to these pieces. They're not going anywhere. If I were to replace this pot, tear all of it out, I mean, I'd set this thing back a year or two. They do not at all. I mean, look how happy these roots are. Do you think they'd be happy if you just like took a hammer and broke it and tore all of these roots? No, they don't want that. So it's still happy. It's a very happy plant, and I will leave it like this, quite frankly, probably forever. At some point, the roots will start hanging down. I'm okay with that. What was I thinking? Here's a nice yellow Oncidium, very bright and colorful. And what I want to show here is it is planted in tree fern fiber. I know I keep bringing this up and over again, but I just want to point out the fact that as soon as I started planting Oncidium in tree fern fiber, it was a game changer. I've always had trouble with Oncidium. I put them in tree fern fiber and they blew up. I mean, this thing is, it's huge. So if you're into Oncidium and you're willing to, shell out the money for tree fern fiber, which is expensive, you're gonna have very, very happy Oncidium. What am I thinking here? So here's a Vanda, very pretty Vanda. Now you can see it had lots of spike, a lot of flowers, a lot of blooms, and we're down to like the last couple, right? They're still pretty though. They're still okay. Oh my goodness, I just broke it off. Did I just break your heart? Did you see me do that? And did you start to cry? Did you yell out? How could you do that, Dave? Look, well, first of all, I'll just put this in a glass of water. It'll be fine for a little bit. The dying flowers, fading flowers on any flower, especially Vanda, it's sucking up all the energy. So if you want another flower or more foliage more quickly, you got to get rid of the dying blooms that are wearing out. I know it's weird, I know it's painful, but you got to do it. You got to suck it up and do it. What was I thinking? Okay, I have two separate Cattleya on the same mount, which is not a good idea. I don't know why I did that. I think they were really small when I got them. And I never liked these tree fern fiber sticks before until Tristan at Palmer Orchids encouraged me to try again. And they really are cool because you can see how they're covering the stick or whatever. Yeah, it's a stick. But not only that, I don't know if you can tell, but if you look real close, they're actually penetrating the stick itself, right? So it's not just around the outside, it's penetrating the stick itself. And again, these aerate really well. So this will no doubt be it is already a very happy Cattleya. I mean, there's a bunch of new growths on here. That's why I did that. Why did I do that? This is just an interesting example. So I just recently got this Cattleya. I haven't repotted it yet. And you're not really going to be able to see this, but just so you understand. So it's been raining a lot here in Sarasota. It's July. It's always raining a lot in July. And so all of these Cattleya that are mounted and in these baskets, black baskets, I mean, the rain comes down and it dries out within that day. Now this guy, there's no way you're gonna be able to see this. This guy is not drying. If you look inside the pot, the roots are still wet-ish. This is where you run into trouble. Cattleya do not want to be wet for days. So if I'm not careful here and it keeps raining, this will eventually get some sort of rot, and then all the roots will die, and then it's possible that the whole plant will die. What was I thinking? I just want to show off. So this is a piece of cork bark. Which again, it's pretty expensive, but it's cool. And why it's cool is because it's perfect for like nooks and crannies for the roots to climb around in. I take zip ties, just normal zip ties, and wrap it around the whole thing. And you can see the roots are already spreading to the other side. Now what I will do is snip both of these off, so because it doesn't need the support anymore, and it looks very cool when it doesn't have those green twisty ties on them anymore. What was I thinking? All right, this is good. It's a good teaching moment. So this is what I just came upon. Uh-oh, what is that? What's that big black grossness? That doesn't look good. It's not good. Really, it's about as bad as you can get. So that's what's called black rot. Black rot is very, very contagious and very aggressive. And I'm glad I found this because, I mean, I'm gonna cut these at the very bottom because it starts to creep down into the stem and it can infect the whole plant. And I gotta quarantine it from everything else. I've been having tons of problems with this. So it's very scary, very sad. So if you have this, immediately quarantine, cut it at the absolute base, and I would treat it with something called Aliette. I believe it's A-L-I-E-T-T-E. It's the best thing I've found when it comes to black rot, and I can do a whole video on that at some point. But look, this isn't helping anything, man. So this is still in a plastic pot. Do you see that? Doesn't help. Way too much water, way too much moisture. Makes it, you do not want that when it comes to these kinds of orchids. So we'll finish it on that. Why did I do this? I didn't do it on purpose, but I will do something on purpose now, which is disinfect, cut, dump it in Alouette, and we will move on. We're not gonna let this ruin our Sunday. Well, I hope everyone now understands why I did that, and be blessed.